Nicki Minaj has 0 Grammys. Let that sink in. One of the biggest artists this generation, the best-selling female rapper, the most streamed female rapper, the female rapper that created hits like Super Bass, Starships, Anaconda, Bang Bang, Moment for Life, Chun-Li, and much more. The female rapper who brought female rap back from the dead and revitalized it and inspired an entire generation of female rappers has not won a Grammy. And the sad thing is, her not having a Grammy isn't due to a lack of talent or impact, because anyone with a sensible brain knows Nicki Minaj deserves one. Rather, this anomaly is because of politics, racism, and sexism in the music industry and the Recording Academy. So in today's video, we will be tackling the history between Nicki Minaj and the Grammys.
No, Grammys still a goat though.
A brief background on Nicki. Before she became the superstar that we know, Nicki Minaj was a fairly underground artist. But even as an underground artist, she was making a lot of noise on her own. This caught the attention of Lil Wayne, and when he saw Nicki on the Come Up DVD, she was signed to Young Money with Drake and Tyga. Well, that wasn't exactly what happened, but that's an abbreviated version of the event. Nicki released Massive Attack, which was intended to be the lead single for her debut album Pink Friday, but the song was dropped from the album due to poor commercial performance. The next single, however, Your Love, did great commercially and critically, with it peaking at number 14 on the Hot 100. Now you may be asking, Nathie, what does this have to do with the Grammys? Calm your tits, honey, I am getting there. So she also released Check It Out and Right Through Me as follow-up singles. Around October, Nicki Minaj released one of the most iconic verses, not only in her career, but in hip-hop history. Y'all already know where I'm going with this.
Monster automobile gangster with a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in that Tonka color of Willy Wonka. You could be the king.
Monster featured Kanye West, Jay-Z, and Rick Ross on the song, but nobody remembers their verse. Like, come on, we listened to Monster because of Nicki Minaj. Critics love Nicki's verse specifically, and it became such a staple in pop culture and Nicki Minaj's career that literally everyone knows this verse. The fact that she was able to slaughter these rap legends and Rick Ross proved that Nicki Minaj is that bitch. The song also featured Bon Iver, and remember that name because he's going to be important in the story. But Monster wasn't the only song Nicki was featured on. I call this period of time the feature era because Nicki was popping up in everyone's song around this time. Bedrock, 2012, Bottoms Up, Check It Out, Lil Freak, Up All Night, and probably the most relevant to the story, My Chick Bad. My Chick Bad by Ludacris featuring Nicki Minaj was released on February 23, 2010 and it became a hit. It peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song was praised for its very animated lyricism and Nicki's verse. It was so well received that it got nominated for a 2011 Grammy Award in the category Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group, making this Nicki's first nomination on the Grammys ever. Nicki Minaj attended the Grammys in this head-to-toe leopard print outfit and that beehive wig. I mean, this was 2011 Nicki, so she was wearing the craziest outfits, and she pulls it off. Sadly, My Chick Bad and Nicki didn't win the Grammy. But things are looking up for Nicki. Nicki released Pink Friday, which boasted 375,000 units on its first week. This marked the second highest sales week for a female hip-hop recording artist behind Lauryn Hill in 1998. Pink Friday was also a critical success, though it was slightly bashed for being too pop. One of its singles, Moment for Life, was also an immense success, both critically and commercially, and it became one of Nicki's most recognizable songs. Also, back in October 2010, Nicki became the first female solo artist to have 7 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 simultaneously, with My Chick Bad, Knockout, Bottoms Up, Lil Freak, Letting Go, Dirty Love, Your Love, and 2012 It Ain't the End. And she becomes the first woman to appear on MTV's annual Hottest MC list. All of these achievements and critical success led to her 3 nominations on the Grammys in 2012, with Best Rap Album for Pink Friday, Best Rap Performance for Moment for Life, and Nicki Minaj was herself nominated for Best New Artist. She was also nominated with Rihanna on the album Loud for Album of the Year as a featured artist. This was Nicki Minaj on her losing the 2011 Grammys and her nominations for the 2012 Grammys.
When I was at the Grammys last year, it was like I didn't even exist. And then to now be performing and to be nominated, it's a big deal. I'm not gonna be nervous about winning because I really don't think I'm gonna win anything. The way I look at it is, I know eventually in my career I'm gonna have Grammys. This year is just about being nominated. But in terms of me and my career, you know, the Grammys is everything. It's the only thing. In terms, you know, a music artist, like, it's what you live for, it's what you know, this is what you work for.
Nicki Minaj was also set to perform during the Grammys her song Roman Holiday. You know the meme? She also promoted the Grammys through her social media and the commercial with LL Cool J.
We're all getting ready for the Grammys.
And Nicki's been working on her surprise face in case she wins.
Yep. Check this out. Right? Hey, 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 hey. LL, Nicki M, CBS, only on CBS. Hey, 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 hey. Gotta speed it up. What's up? Like, come on, try to get
my lips to move. My lips ain't going like.
Pause.
What you want me to do?
Boom, boom,
Still going.
Now, the Grammys happened. Nicki, on the red carpet, had a Pope standby with her, and she was wearing this. And she performed one of the most controversial Grammy performances ever.
Hello, my child.
You don't belong here.
What's your name?
The Roman holiday performance was something else. It received immense backlash from the Catholic Church and the general public, with people saying she was being too Lady Gaga-ish. This was Nicki after the Grammys explaining and defending her performance.
Now let's talk Grammys for a minute. The performance stirred up a little controversy. I know people from the Roman Catholic Church were upset and whatever. What would you say to them?
I've been doing theater my whole life. I've been doing theater. So I'm confused because if he does a scene with a church, is that blasphemous? I'm confused. What I do is art. If you go and look at a painting and they have something that is, seems a little offensive, it's still art. I am painting a picture, and if you don't like it, you don't have to look. But would never be purposely offensive to anyone. Like, that's the last thing I want to do. But I want to get people away from ridiculing people because they're different, and that's the point. Let people be them. You're not God. Just embrace people and love them, and that's all it is. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. I stand firmly behind my Grammys performance because I wrote it, and when I wrote the script, I wrote Roman in a monastery, and that's what I created. I'm not going to write it in a monastery and do a performance in a circus. The story had to be told. Just like when you go and see The Exorcism, when you go and see The Devil Inside, it's a movie.
Sadly, Nicki walked out with no Grammys, as she lost all her nominations. Notably, she lost a Grammy for Best New Artist to Bon Iver. Now let's talk about the Roman holiday situation. Let me first introduce to you a new character in the story, Ken Ehrlich. Ken Ehrlich is an American television producer and director, and he is the showrunner of the Grammys Award for the last 40 years, with his last show being the 2020 Grammys. Basically, he's the white man that runs the Grammys. Being that Nicki Minaj was quickly becoming one of the hottest artists in the world around 2012, she was asked to perform at the Grammys. Ken Ehrlich and a bunch of Grammy producers came to Nicki's studio and listened to the Pink Friday Roman Reloaded record. Nicki then states in an interview with Ryan Seacrest, the Grammys chose Roman Holiday. The producers of the Grammys came to the studio and I played them Roman Holiday, and I could not play them another record after they heard that. They went crazy. Now, if the name Ken Ehrlich rings a bell, that's because he's the same man that Ariana had the little feud with for lying about the reason Ariana didn't perform at the Grammys in 2019. Nicki Minaj then tweets shortly after, "I pissed off the same man Ariana just called out for lying. Grammy producer Ken. I was bullied into staying quiet for 7 years out of fear. But I'll tell my fans the real on the next episode of #Queen Radio. They deserve the truth. Also, congrats to everyone who won last night." And this is the Queen Radio episode, which will also explain what happened at the Grammy stage.
Many moons ago, the Grammys asked me to perform, and I was very excited. I had already started breaking records. So by that time, it was kind of a big deal, and Grammys asked me to perform. They came to my studio, listened to the record, agreed they liked it, everything, and it just so happened that Whitney Houston passed away. And when I was about to go on stage, not the day before, not in the morning, but when I was about to go on stage, I was told by my then management that the people from the Grammys wanted to speak to me. They came into my dressing room and said, "We don't think you should perform. We don't want you to perform anymore."
Why?
And I said, huh? And I was already ready to go on stage. And they were like, well, because of the passing of Whitney Houston. And we don't think that I had no clue why and how, even then it made absolutely no sense. And I was just like, this makes no sense. And there was no one there that even spoke up for me. Like, they didn't care to explain it. Nobody on either side spoke.
Yeah.
And this is after I had just done a bunch of commercials with LL Cool J to promote the Grammys. After I did everything they asked, they came the day of the show and told me not to perform. And I said, no, I'm gonna perform, of course. And then when the performance came out and it received backlash from the Catholic Church, Ken Ehrlich reached out to my then management and said, can you please tell Nicki to stop speaking about it? And I thought that was weird, because I didn't know how it was an issue for him. Like, it's my brand. I have to explain myself. I'm the one getting backlash. And he said he was mad because I had did an interview and said, well, the producers at the Grammys knew what song I was going to do in advance.
Right.
Which I thought made no sense, because obviously nobody's watching the Grammys thinking that the producers don't know what song Nicki Minaj is about to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Right.
I didn't understand why they were mad. And I didn't understand the power that man had to start to completely blackball me for the rest of my career. But that's exactly what happened. So he basically told me, you go out there or else. And when I went out there, because now all of my fans are expecting a performance, I'm not going to just not perform. And I just did all this to promote your show and to get viewers. So I went out there and he blackballed me for the rest of my career. He then made me feel afraid to speak on it, because thinking, well, if you do ever want to get a Grammy, you better not speak about it. So this is why when Ariana called him out the other day, I said, this man is still doing the same shit. And then I did my research and found out he's been doing clown, corny shit to people, and they've just been bullied and being quiet. But now, being that I'm at the place now that I don't give a fuck,
Right.
because I am a legend and I'm gonna die an icon regardless.
Talk your shit.
I can now let everyone know that the reason why a song like Monster or what you name it, that's never been touched till this day creatively, doesn't have a Grammy, that's why. It's because a little black girl thought that she could go against this powerful white man and say, no, I'm gonna perform. You're not making any sense. I promoted the fuck out of this show for you, and this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because of that little backlash, he told me I should have basically lied and said the Grammys didn't know what I was gonna perform, which made no sense. Somebody would have believed that anyway. I didn't realize. So I saw him at Jay-Z's concert. And I was there again with my then management.
Right.
And I just remember how I walked up to him about to say hello, and he just looked at me like with just disgust. Like
Did
I
he
was
say
nothing.
anything to you? Or
Absolutely nothing. I went up to him to try to say hi, shake his hand.
Yeah.
He just stood straight and didn't even look at me, like I was garbage. Since people want to know the real deal while you see all this fuckery happening, that's why. Because whenever black women speak up for themselves, they look at you like, how dare you? Who do you think you are, bitch? And then when you do speak on it, you're the angry black woman.
Right.
And other black women feed into that and disrespect the black women that's speaking up that can potentially open doors for them.
Do Grammys even matter to you at this point?
Absolutely fucking not.
Nah. So
Absolutely not.
if you won one, you wouldn't give a fuck? You ain't taking a sip out of it?
As of right now, yes, if I had won one before, first of all, they robbed me of the new artist Grammy.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows I should have gotten that award. I had 7 songs on the Hot 100 before my album dropped. Like, I don't think people understand what's going on. Best new artist, they gave to Bon Iver over me, the person who they just made promote their whole show. So now, what does it matter? Do you care if Tupac or Snoop or Nas or whoever doesn't have a Grammy?
Nah, that's
Look at the people that
who
have
they
number
are.
ones and have Grammys. They clowns. A lot of them are clowns. We don't care, because in 50 years we're not going to be talking about them. We're not going to be talking about the Milli Vanillis. We're going to be talking about, the Pacs and these types of people. So it doesn't matter to that extent. But I do think it's sad because they try to portray it as if it's about talent when it's not. It's about people actually network for the Grammys. They tell a bunch of people, hey, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. Why don't you ask them who voted for the Hip Hop Awards? Why don't you ask them give me the names of the people who voted for the Hip Hop Grammys?
Right.
And you tell me, let the hip hop community decide if those people should be the ones voting on our music.
So Nicki Minaj was told not to perform by Ken Ehrlich because of Whitney's death just the day before, which doesn't make any sense. Nicki's performance has nothing to do with Whitney, and they told her not to perform when she was literally ready to go on stage. And of course, Nicki said, no, I did mad promo for you. I'm going to perform, and she did, and she got blackballed from the Grammys. And if you think Nicki is lying here, Ken literally did the same thing to Ariana. And guess who didn't win any Grammys in 2020, despite having arguably the biggest era in that time span? Because of this performance, it is speculated that Nicki was robbed of the Best New Artist Grammy. And you know what is not speculated? I 100% believe Nicki was robbed of the Best New Artist Grammy. Because really, who is Bon Iver? You probably only heard of him recently because of Taylor Swift. But otherwise, who is he? This is why it really established Nicki's position at the time. Nicki was breaking records, she was selling extremely well, and she's already become a household name by this point. Out of all the nominees in the Best New Artist Award, Nicki Minaj is the most successful. Like, that's not even a debate at this point. And I see a lot of people say, but Bon Iver released one of the most acclaimed projects ever. They were critically acclaimed. Well, yes, they were. But looking at the Best New Artist Award winners, it isn't about who's the most critically acclaimed. Fun won over Frank Ocean, Macklemore over Kendrick, Meghan Trainor, Dua Lipa, Billie Eilish, Megan Thee Stallion. These artists, though amazing in their own right, were not the most critically acclaimed from the nominees. They won the award because they achieved commercial success with songs that are critically acclaimed. It's not exclusively critics or commercial success. And it's not like Nicki Minaj wasn't liked by critics. So that's that. Nicki Minaj deserved that Grammy win. Let's move on next year with the 2013 Grammys, where Nicki didn't receive any nominations for her album Pink Friday Roman Reloaded or one of the best-selling singles ever, Starships. Nicki addressed this in an interview and stated, "I've gotten tons of awards, and I believe when it's time to get a Grammy, I'll get a Grammy. I think the Grammys had a different reason that I do not want to discuss, and that's just between me and them." And she was alluding to Ken Ehrlich, but I respect their organization, and I'll get a Grammy eventually. I'm not worried about it. Nicki Minaj won't be nominated for a Grammy until the 2015 Grammys, where she was nominated for Anaconda as Best Rap Song and Bang Bang as Best Pop Duo/Group Performance. She came in this form-fitting black dress, and she looked so good with her very minimal makeup compared to her previous outfits. She looked amazing. As she was getting blackballed, she didn't win any of the Grammys. For the 2016 Grammys, though she was nominated for The Pink Print as Best Rap Album, Truffle Butter for Best Rap Performance, and only for Best Rap/Song Performance, she didn't attend. She posted this on Instagram as a sort of explanation, saying, "I know I'm in the commercial, but I actually won't be performing. I want to thank the Grammys for being super sweet and supportive and for recognizing the Pink Print. Maybe next year will make more sense in terms of timing, and I'll create a very special performance for you guys. In the meantime, enjoy the show." And from that point on, Nicki was completely blackballed and not nominated again. When Debbie Dugan, the previous CEO of the Grammys, came out and spoke about the racism and sexism in the Academy, Nicki defends her, saying, "Shout out to Deb. We need strong women that are willing to say what they have to say, even when they're getting backlash for it. And every strong woman in here knows what I'm talking about." Just recently, during the 2021 Grammys, when The Weeknd was snubbed and a bunch of artists spoke out about it, Nicki Minaj joined the conversation, saying, "Never forget, the Grammys didn't give me my Best New Artist Award when I had 7 songs simultaneously charting on Billboard and bigger first week than any female rapper in the last decade. Went on to inspire a generation. They gave it to the white man Bon Iver. Hashtag Pink Friday." And that's it. What are my final thoughts on the whole situation? Well, let me summarize. Nicki Minaj deserves a Grammy, but she doesn't need one. Nicki not having a Grammy is used by so many people as ammunition to discredit Nicki's legacy and impact, when I think they forget that Nicki Minaj is Nicki Minaj. She's a household name, and as she said,
"Because I am a legend and I'm gonna die an icon regardless."
Talk your shit.
a Grammy does not solidify someone's legacy. Yeah, it's a nice award to have, but when your award is built on racism and sexism and stupid politics in the music industry, it kinda diminishes the value of the award. And I get it, being music is subjective, and the award shows try to grade someone's music. There's always going to be some sort of backlash, regardless if we remove the sexism and racism in the Academy. But when so many artists have called you out on your bullshit and you still do the same old practices, honey. And can we talk about the obvious double standards on Nicki? Because when The Weeknd spoke out about the Grammys, he was brave. When Nicki spoke out about the Grammys, she was desperate. And to the people saying Nicki was desperate and calling out the Grammys because she didn't win one, you are perpetuating misogynistic and racist stereotypes amongst women. Because when the men do it, they are standing up for themselves. When a woman does it, especially a black woman, they say, "Oh, she is acting up, oh, she's having a tantrum, oh, she's having a mental breakdown," and they put her in the box of the angry black woman. And that is so disgusting to me. Nicki Minaj is a literal legend already. And the thing is, even if you don't believe it, tough luck. Nicki Minaj will be remembered as a legend. As I said, Nicki Minaj deserves a Grammy, but she doesn't need one. She has established herself and left her imprint too hard on the world and pop culture that Nicki Minaj is not going anywhere. And no Grammys. Still the GOAT though. Thank you so much for watching today's video, you guys. I have more videos about Nicki Minaj. I have Nicki Minaj v Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj v Lil Kim if you're interested. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, comment what you think, subscribe to my channel, and just share it to the friend. Like, I'm currently working on my next feud breakdown, which will be Mariah Carey v Jennifer Lopez, so stick around for that. Oh my god. Wait, oh my god, sorry guys. It's so hot in here. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you later.